Hi everybody, Bearded Rogue here. So, last year I was telling everybody about Lucha Underground, and I still heartily stand by that. Lucha Underground is amazing wrestling. It's amazing storylines, the characters are awesome. It's the only place in the world where you can see an ancient Aztec death god take on a ninja skeleton assassin, and have it be completely sensical inside of the mythos of the actual show. So this year, to turn you on to some other wrestling that I've found recently, I want to talk to you about WCPW. WCPW is very new. Was started by the guys from What Culture Wrestling. If you don't know What Culture Wrestling is one of many online websites that does coverage of wrestling, wrestlers, their time off, major changes in the industry, opinion pieces about the direction they're headed, and pay-per-views and specific wrestlers, and they do a lot of top 10 lists and stuff like that, which is how I originally found them. They started doing some bits that were entirely in character, like one of their most popular individuals, Adam Blampied. They're all British, by the way, British, Scottish, all from that side of the pond. But he was one of their most popular faces of their videos. He recorded a lot of their top 10 lists, and his voice is like butter. But he started playing up being heel. Like, they introduced a cardboard fake championship. They introduced other characters. Every pay-per-view for WWE, they do picks on who's going to win and base who's the champion on who has the best record. The losers have to do forfeits, which are always horrible and embarrassing. But all of that was interesting until suddenly one of them disappeared for a while, and nobody really talked about what he was doing. And what he was doing was setting up their own wrestling federation. And, like, I'm not kidding you, this is a legit wrestling federation. Like, they have bookers, they have amazing talent, like Jay Lethal, who's the current Ring of Honor champion, has been on there a couple of times. Noam Dar, who's an amazing cruiserweight wrestler who has a very kick-ass entrance and submission move. He's been there. They've had, at this point, I think Will Ospreay's been there. They've had the man formerly known as Damian Sandow was recently on one of their major shows. They had just like actual major talent, and then a lot of amazing wrestlers from the European scene. Joe Hendry, Joe Coffey, Rampage Brown, just people you see over there. A lot of them have done work for ICW as well, which is one of the major promotions over there. So there's a lot of really great talent, like really legitimately good wrestling, and it's a YouTube show, so you can watch it for free. They do weekly shows that they put up on Mondays. Why they're competing with Raw, I think it's just because they're cheeky. But it's free. It's completely free. And then they have major events. Their first one, Built to Destroy, just recently ended and had some fantastic matches in it. Like legitimately great matches. If you're a fan of wrestling, you will love it. If you are a fan of storytelling, it's not huge on that. Like, there's great storytelling in the matches, but there's not a lot of soap opera between it. It's almost the opposite of Lucha Underground, in that it's much more about the technical wrestling and the athletes going at it in the ring than it is the storyline of what's going on around things behind the scenes. Like, there is a story, and it exists, and it serves its purpose. It's about as much of a story as NXT has. Like, there's reasons why people don't like each other. Rivalries continue from, episode to episode. It doesn't feel like forced rivalries like a lot of the WWE stuff sometimes does. Like, oh, well, these two guys are going to fight because they're not doing anything else. It's just really good. Like, I think it's legitimately good, and it's one of the reasons why this stuff has made an appearance in my life, because I've been watching it, and a lot of them drink it. It's come up several times, and so it's something that that I've been turned on to by them. I've not really watched a lot of wrestling outside of American promotions. Like, I've watched a lot of WWE, formerly WWF, over the years. I used to watch TNA. I really don't anymore. I watched much more in its heyday, which was back when, you know, Ric Flair and AJ Styles, and like, it seemed like they had some really big names. Sting was there. The Hardy Brothers weren't crazy. Well, they were crazy, but they weren't filming their craziness and sharing it with the world. So Lucha Underground, which is also U.S. based, uses a lot of talent from Mexico, but you know, these guys in What Culture Pro Wrestling really know their stuff. A lot of them are wrestling journalists long before they were picked up by What Culture, so they really know what they're talking about. They're familiar with all of the Japanese wrestlers and all the people who were big in Japan. It's how I first discovered the Bullet Club, and various other major things that now I'm a huge fan of. You know, I knew about Shinsuke Nakamura before he came over to NXT, because of these guys, because otherwise I wouldn't have been paying attention to wrestling overseas. So it's something that they've really expanded my horizons, and I think you should check them out. They're pretty funny. They're all, you know, goofy dudes who, you know, make bets with their friends over who's gonna win scripted pay-per-view matches and who's not, and what storylines are better, and they do, you know, booking. They rebook angles that didn't work out so well for the WWE, and they do a lot of lists to bring back memories of, you know, talents that didn't work out, or amazing matches, or things of that nature. Overall, that's really good, but WCPW is amazing. Like, even if you don't watch any of the What Culture Wrestling stuff, all the articles and videos on current events in wrestling, WCPW is legitimately good by itself. And it has its own YouTube channel, and it's completely free. So I highly recommend it. I'm really digging Joe Hendry. He's gone from somebody who I did not even know about to now somebody who I regularly watch videos of him online, because he actually does Weird Al style filks of popular music for his entrance themes, and he changes it depending on who he's wrestling. So he's done, you know, various filks of like Adele songs, or he did a filk of the Union Underground song that used to be the opening song for Monday Night Raw for quite a while when I used to watch it back in the day. It's genuinely funny stuff. He's managed to be a face wrestler who does some like arrogant heelish things, and it still comes off as like, oh well, that's just Joe Hendry, that's just the way he is, not like, what a prick. You know. And I really like that. I like that the wrestlers all have character, and even the big monster wrestlers are portrayed as being intelligent, like they aren't idiots. You know, Rampage Brown is portrayed as this big gigantic monster, and in the first episode, he does a pile driver, and so they ban pile drivers like every other sane federation has. And so, you know, his manager's constantly, you know, asking him to do pile drivers, and he's not going to do it because he realizes that he'll get suspended and miss his chance at the title. And, like, it's awesome because he's a smart monster. Like, yes, he can legitimately destroy everybody, but he doesn't rely on this one move to do it. He can get the job done without it. But it's interesting storyline-wise that he's still under pressure to kind of go that direction. So, I don't know. It's awesome. Check it out if you like wrestling. WCPW. Anyway, Bearded Rogue, out.